Okay, here we go. It is Freljord support day. I'm going to turn off the chat so you guys can see what's above me. All right, here we go. I'll read it out loud when we get there. Combat Cook, a 4-mana 2/2, and there it is. There's the chefs, and it's literally war chefs. I was hoping for this so much. War chefs are back. Dual region. When I'm summoned, I improvise and forge. Oh, that's actually really good. That's really good because forge hits the weapon, and the weapon is what you want to get back. So most of the time, this will be like a 5/3 overwhelm, a 5/3 tough. If you get the pot, it's like it's a 5/6 with impact. That's quite good. This card is probably going to be one of the key pieces of a Jax and potentially Ornn deck. I love that this is dual region. This card seems playable outside of Jax too, just like every other weapon master. This just seems really, really good. Oh, it's a 4/5, right? It's not 5/6, it's a 4/5. Yeah, it will be a 4/5. Okay. Still really good. Loving this card. Super strong. They posted yesterday, by the way, for the people that didn't see it, that Forge means grant your equipment +1/+1, or if you don't have equipment, the ally. So since Combat Cook improvises first, it then forges the weapon that it improvised. Okay, 1 mana 1/1, Weaponsmith's Apprentice. The first time you equip an ally, forge it. The first time. Oh wait, but you play this on turn 1, you play Jax on turn 2, Jax becomes a 4/3 with quick attack. Okay, this doesn't seem that good because it's only once and you get a 1/1, but in a deck with Jax, that seems pretty crazy. That seems quite good with Jax. That has to be for Jax. Has to be for Jax. That's I would say this card is unplayable, unplayably bad, but with Jax, very good potentially. Okay, Heartblood Mender, 5 mana 5/5. These are not dual region, these are Freljord. Okay, play Forge an ally and heal it and your Nexus 3. Oh, that's such an interesting effect. It's a 5 mana 5/5. The thing is, with the Weapon Master, they all have very low health. None of them really go above 3 or 4 health. So it seems weird for that, because you obviously want to use this on an ally that's equipped already. It's flexible though. It's flexible because you don't have, like, even if it doesn't have a weapon, you still give it +1/+1 and heal it. Okay, I think this effect is really, really good, but 5 mana makes me think that this is probably not playable. It's a really cool card. I love this. Like, I love that they're just printing more heal cards, right? We've seen the 5 mana burst speed spell that heals for 3 or for 4 even, and now we see this. I think it's okay, but I don't think it's crazy. I think eventually this will end up being unplayable because decks very often, the way they play is they have like very powerful 1 through 4 drops that are very meaningful, and then after turn 5, you don't really want to play units just for a little bit of value. Like this, all this does on turn 5 is give you a 5/5 body and give you like a little bit of tempo, a little bit of value, but that's not enough. On turn 5 in Legends of Runeterra right now, that's when the bombs come down. That's when the setup to end the game comes down, and this doesn't do that. This does not end the game. I agree, a 5 mana 6/6 sounds very playable, but it's just not the way Legends of Runeterra is played right now. I want this to be playable. I will probably put it in my deck as like a 1-of or something. But ultimately, it's probably going to be unplayable unless we got Ornn, and Ornn says something like, you've forged 5 times, right? Then if Ornn is a 6-drop and you forge 5 times and you do it on like turn 1, 2, 3, 4, whatever, then yeah, sure, maybe. All right, Adept Weaponsmith, and let me move out of the way one time. This is a 3 mana 3/3. See, this I was blocking this 3, but this is a 3 mana 3/3, and I actually would play Forge an ally. I think this one is quite good. I think this one is actually very playable. 3 mana 3/3 is just decent stats, and if you forge an ally, it's a 3 mana 4/4 basically. This is old Badger Bear, and right now what I'm seeing is turn 1 you go Weapons Apprentice, turn 2 you go Jax, it's a 4/3, turn 3 you go Adept Weaponsmith, and your Jax is a 5/4. This is the payoff that we were waiting for with Jax, because the problem I had with Jax was, okay, you're playing a 2 mana 3/2. it can buff itself once with its champion spell, and then later on, when Jax level, which is going to be pretty slow because all the Weapon Master have relatively low attack, so Jax doesn't really level that fast. What you end up with is like a level Jax, and at that point when Jax is leveled, then he's going to grow to like 7 attack. But with Forging, Jax will actually grow massive. Like Jax will actually turn into a game-ending threat. These cards look like they really make Jax playable. They aren't Weapon Master though, doesn't matter. They're Forging. They are there to buff up your Jax so your Jax can keep going into combat. I think this is good. This is really what's enabling Jax. This is already telling me, okay, Ornn and Jax are probably going to be pre-made because you really, really need to forge your Jax to make him playable. And if you can get like that huge unit that has that overwhelm later,
effect, stunks.
Maybe Ornn double the forge. Oh, maybe, yeah. I could actually kind of see that. Give it a +2/+2 instead of +1/+1. That grows out of control, and it is kind of a value engine. I would actually love to have a back row engine in the weapon expansion, because we don't have that. Everything about weapons is just going into combat and stuff, right? If Ornn is like more sitting on the back and then buffing up your equipped allies, I think that would be very cool. These seem quite good. I don't like the Heartblood Mender that much, but it has potential. I just think right now, in the way Runeterra is played, it's unplayable, because 5 mana 5/5 for a little bit of value is just not enough right now. All right, next cards. 2 mana 1/4, Favorite Artisan. When I'm summoned, create a Time and Dedication in hand. And Time and Dedication is a 1 mana focus, Fortune ally. That's good. That's actually really good. And yeah, this super confirms Ornn, right? It has to be Ornn now. Yeah, this is good because, okay, the thing that matters here, chat, the thing that's very important is that very often you get cards in your hand that are fleeting. This is not fleeting. This is just in your hand. This is just in your hand until you feel like, hey, I want to use this. I want to use this card on my Fiddlesticks. Yeah, I'm sorry. I don't know why I keep saying that it's Ornn. This is obviously Fiddlesticks. Like, you can see the hammer. Fiddlesticks has a hammer. I remember when Fiddle went, it's fiddling time, and you fiddle all over those guys. Yeah, see? It's Fiddlesticks. It's 100% Fiddlesticks. This is good. I like this. This is a 2 mana 1/4, and it gives you the potential to give a weapon +1/+1 later. And this makes that whole managing your weapon arsenal like a lot cooler, because you will actually make your weapons bigger so that using them later on like your bigger threats becomes meaningful. I like this. I think this is a really cool direction for a deck. I love how unique this playstyle is. Only Runeterra can pull something like this off. Very cool. And then what? Chat. Chat. What is this? Wait, this. I think they showed the wrong picture here. Wait. Is it? I think they messed up. I think they used the wrong picture for this one. Huh? Wait. What the hell? Why would they print this? What? Okay. Yeah, 1 mana +1/+1 equipment. Cool. I guess. What? Why? Literally why? Yeah, you get it back. Sure. It's better than Battlefield Prowess unless you're synergizing with spells, but that's actually so. Okay, listen. It makes sense because Battlefield Prowess was obviously unplayable when Silas comes out, because we have cards like Stony Suppressor, we have the Petricide Pillar, and you don't want to play spells in that deck, but Demacian Steel won't get increased in cost. Low man item that you can forge into a high value card. I guess. This doesn't really seem like the direction it's going with the Freljord deck though, so I don't know. Seems really bad. You're never gonna play this right now. I'm gonna. All right, Chad. What if there ends up being like a Freljord Demacia deck that's just super good because of all the forging you're doing on Demacian Steel? I don't know. We'll figure something out, because I don't think that's ever happening. I'll give 20 subs. It's not happening. It's terrible. Oh, okay. Well, that was it, right? That was 7 cards total. Yeah. My bear is an elite. Oh, that would be pretty cool, actually. Fiddle cosplay, yeah, sure. I like this card. This is setting up for Ornn, and I love it. I love the direction. Forging the weapon, buffing it to like ginormous stats, and then when your ally dies, you give it to another is really cool. I like that you actually have to put in the work, and you have to build your deck in a way that you can actually keep forging. That's great. I love that. I don't just want to play attach unit and be like, okay, let me just slap this on here and then maybe OTK you. Let me just play this one weapon that wins me the game. That's not here. We don't have that. Even with Jax having the 0/0 Light of Acacia, this is pretty bad, right? I mean, late game, you can like, when Jax is leveled, you give this to an ally, and then suddenly that ally has Overwhelm and Quick Attack. It's pretty good, but it's not great. With Forge, though, if you've been forging all game, you will actually just have a weapon that lets you continue pressuring your opponent. It actually, it makes a lot more sense. So, yeah, so Hex Obliterator, I didn't think about this with Xerxes. This is actually really important. I thought Xerxes was unplayable, but we actually have a bunch of cards that removes equipment, like kill a unit with 2 or less power, or destroy units' equipment. We have the Hex Obliterator, which obliterates the equipment. We have the Silence and Suppress card from the Masha that destroy units' equipment. With Xerxes, you can give your weapon to another ally to save it. Like, especially if you've been buffing up your Light of Acacia, you really want to use Xerxes if your opponent is trying to destroy your weapon. I think for that reason, it's quite good. So, day 1, day 2, day 3 of the expansion, you want to play Xerxes. And then when people figure out, hey, this weapon removal is actually trash, then you can cut it from your deck. The problem with Quietus, though, is that it's just good by itself. And then sometimes when you're playing against an equipped deck, you're like, hey, I win the game now. All right, so I wasn't around yesterday. I went to Amsterdam with the girlfriend, and I had a fantastic time. So sadly, I had to miss these reveals, but we're going to go over them right now. I clip your declaration? Sure. Not a problem. All right, we can bring back the chat now. Hi, chat. Say hi. Welcome back. Okay, Quietus. This card is good. This card is not great, though. The reason this card is probably good is because it kills your stuff like Zoe, it kills your stuff like Veigar, but overall, you're still... Like the reason Valfeast is good, for example, is that you get the spider, right? You're removing something, and then you get a spider as like a blocker. It's also much easier to counterplay something like this with an attack buff. So this honestly, this card, if it's good, might bring something like Shapestone back into the meta. And yeah, I know this will be really good with Freeze. I think it's like a 2 over 3 if you definitely want to play it. It's not bad, is what I'm saying. But it's super conditional, and it's quite likely that this sometimes just gets stuck in your hand. Kills Galio, it kills Broadwing. The fact it kills Broadwing makes it really good. It's gonna be played as a card itself. It's not insane, but with the way the meta is right now, yeah, it's probably quite good. It's probably really good. It always gets value, sure, but you're often just going 1 for 1, right? I mean, that matters sometimes, obviously, but a lot of units with 2 or less power aren't super meaningful. I still think it's good. I don't think it's insane. But this is also not the kind of card that I very often play in my decks. 1 mana, kill Heimer. Dude, when I play against Heimer, they always have at least 4 Flash of Brilliances in their hand, and then he just levels and you can't kill him anymore. You're never losing a trade. It's 1 mana. See, that's the thing, though. It depends on what the meta looks like. Like, yeah, it's really good against Broadwing. If you're against a Broadwing, it's insane. But if you're playing, like, if you're trying to kill an Akshan and they Shapestone, you're so far behind. That's the only thing I'm saying right now. It's not that hard to play around. Kills Braum. Yeah, Braum doesn't stand a chance. Good versus value champion like TF. Yeah, no, I agree. It's good. I just don't think it's insane. This card has the potential to be busted, but it's fine. See, yeah, again, like 2 metas ago, this would be the dumbest card in the deck. The one thing I really like about this, this is my favorite thing about this card, but there's 2 regions. This is comparable to playing Sentry plus Flock, right? You can use Iceville Archer plus Quietus. That's basically like playing Sentry plus Flock. That's really good. That's very, very good. However, Quietus is slow speed. It's 2 different regions, so they're not really comparable. But developing a unit like that and then getting to remove something by developing that unit is pretty good. 1 mana, kill Gallia. Hey, Gallia has Spell Shield. Come on, man. Give the man some respect. 1 mana, kill Mountain Drake. Yeah, no, it's good. It's 1 mana. It's always going to be pretty good. It's not busted, though. I don't think it's insane, but it's pretty good. There's a lot of ways to play around this card, and then you're, like, losing a card in your hand. And that's never great. I think this is gonna be played in a bunch of decks. I don't think it's gonna be on the same level as a lot of other removal that has been good. But this is what the game needs. This is the kind of card that the game needs more of. Removal has been weak. This slows down early snowballing champions, so I'm happy it exists. I'm very happy it exists, but it's super easy for the meta to develop or like progress in a way that this card becomes completely unplayable.
This is darkness support. Senna makes it fast and good.
I can't wait for all the Ash Senna decks. Hey, thank you for the bit. Yeah, no, it's all right. It's good. Malefic Spear. 3 mana, 2/1. Fearsome. If an ally died this round, I cost 2 less. This seems pretty bad. Isn't this Callista Spear? Yeah, it looks like it. Yeah, it's pretty interesting with Evelyn. Would you really put this in your deck, though? This might be the best equipped card in Shadow Isles. I actually think that the one that spawns at Darken is a little bit better. Callista support? I mean, I guess. I don't really know what you give this to in a Callista deck. You don't really necessarily want to give it to Callista. She already has Fearsome. No, I think this is bad. I don't think any Shadow Owls deck is going to be happy playing this. Even Callista. Hecarim? Yeah, maybe Hecarim. Give it to... Oh, okay. Lucian is kind of interesting, actually. On Lucian, it is interesting if you're still playing Callista Lucian in 2022. It does work for that. Kindred is good. I don't think Kindred cares about this. No, this is not elite support either. Gwen? Gwen? Sure. Gwen maybe, actually. Yeah. It'll be for whatever you pair with. Yeah. I think so too, but +2/+1 with a condition? I don't see it. I don't see it. Nah, this is not going to be played in any deck. The Darken Halberd. 1 mana, 2/2 equipment to play me, kill an ally. So for 1 mana, you kill an ally and then you give something +2/+2. I think this is pretty good, actually. This card is good with Kindred. Yes, I think this card is quite good with Kindred. It's on unit speed too, so your opponent can't react to it. It does suck, obviously, that you're giving the turn back to your opponent, because otherwise, if this was played at fast speed, you would like be in combat, kill one of your allies, and then give another one +2/+2. It would almost turn into like a troll chant. But I think this is quite good. I think this is playable. And then you get the upside of sometimes summoning Tarash. I think this is going to happen in like 1 out of 20 games where you actually get to play a 10 mana card. But again, the insane part about this card very often is that you get it back in your hand. So from my perspective, and I haven't really read about anyone else's opinions on the card that were revealed yesterday, because I'm obviously a day late, but this seems like Undying with Kindred is like a really, really good option for this card. You cannot summon the Tarash with spell mana, no. Yeah, so yeah, even with Viego, I think it's okay because you can just kill off the mist. I think this is good with Undying decks. Undying has low-key been pretty good lately. Honestly, I think Undying have been slapped on pretty hard because of Crumble. Crumble is an insane card right now. And with Undying, you're going to love this card. Yeah, Kindred Undying has potential in my opinion. I really think that that's going to be a deck. I think that we're going to see the rise of Undying a little bit, but I don't think it'll be tier 1, but I think it'll be a really good meta call. I'm on the Undying Copium. I think it's been pretty good for a while, and people just haven't really been playing it yet. And a big part, like it was good with the Crumble buff, and then it got better with the Hate Spike buff. And now we're seeing this. I think there's potential there. I think there's potential. And this is the Darken. 10 mana, 10/10, fearsome, Tarash. It's a Darken too. Each round, the first time I attack, fill your attackers with revived ephemeral copies of the strongest followers you've slain this game. Yeah, this is cool, but this is a Timmy card. The good part about this is just that it's already on a pretty good weapon. I love the way this card looks. Yeah, this card is honestly one of the best looking cards in the expansion so far. But I gotta give it to my boy Jax, though. Jax's new design looks incredible. For sure. Yeah, he got the memo. It's AA. Finally a Darken with AA. Obviously, this is pretty unplayable, but the fact it's on a good weapon is pretty good. Sometimes you're going to summon this. Sometimes when the star align, like 1 out of 20, probably even 1 out of 50 games, you're like, okay, I'll go for this. What I see right now is an Undying Kindred deck with one of the Darken Halberd. That was the name, right? The 1 mana weapon that gets +2/+2. As a 1-of, maybe a 2-of, but I'm going to say 1-of. And Undying is going to be a good deck because of it. It's all lining up. All right. Bone Club. Yeah, you have to play this in your Starbone deck. And then we'll call it the Starbone Club. Which is a club you're all welcome to, by the way. Alright, 5 mana 4 from Freljord. Equipment. +4, +4. Yeah, so you can forge, I guess. This seems terrible. I don't know. I'm trying to say something about this, but it's just a Braum. If this had a keyword, then maybe. But why would? Yeah, you're giving this a Braum so he doesn't die to Quietus anymore. Sure. This is awful. This is straight trash, man. With Terrors, you can summon the same enemy 5. Yeah, sure. I mean, if you killed the same enemy 5 times, sure. Nah, this is really bad. Don't put this in your deck. You're gonna be very sad. It is a very, very interesting name. It says a lot about the kind of deck you're playing. But just don't go to the Bone Club. Don't. It's exclusive. It sucks there. Don't go there. Stay home. Don't go to the club. 5 mana burst from Freljord. Gift of the Heartblood. Heal your Nexus 4 and grant all allies and equipment in your deck +1/+1. Draw one of them. I think this is on the level of Quietus. I don't think it's better or worse than Quietus. Like I just punched my mic. I think Quietus is a little bit overhyped, but this one is pretty underhyped. I haven't seen enough comments to really like say something about that because I only read like the basic stuff and it's just Quietus everywhere. But this is good. This is actually like pretty solid, and it's the healing mostly. It's going for value and then also heal your Nexus so you can actually get to that value. Oh, your opponent wants to decimate? Well, too bad, right? Yeah, this is very comparable to Star Shaping. Star Shaping heals you for 5 and then gives you like an immediate, really scary card. This heals your Nexus and turns your deck into a really scary, like a value engine because every unit in your deck is +1/+1. I think this equipment thing that is giving equipment +1/+1 does not matter because the only weapon in Freljord we've seen is the Bone Club, and that's again. That's not a club I get excited about because it's only +4/+4. So I don't see the equipment aspect right now, but if there is a way, 5/5 Bone Club. Yeah, if there's a way to have actual good equipment in your deck, then this could be even better because buffing equipment right now is better than buffing a unit. Giving equipment +1/+1 is infinitely better, in fact, than giving a follower +1/+1. IDKDY, thank you for the Prime sub. I don't think this is hard guard power creep. They're pretty they're entirely different cards. But if you play both of them, then yeah, you're gonna have a pretty big deck. You're gonna be welcome to the Bone Club, dude. If your deck is this big. I think this is good. I'm gonna be playing with this. I think this will be like I don't think this will ever really be a 3 of, unless mid-range Freljord just becomes so freaking good. The way Freljord is played right now, this isn't great. I also don't really see this played in Ash decks. But yeah, this could be a solid 2 of if Jax Ornn turns out to be a deck. Like every single card we've seen so far, this is great with. The Weapon Master's giving +1/+1. The like your Jax, your Weapons Apprentice, Weaponsmith's Apprentice, it's all quite good. This card is going to see experimentation, and I think it's here to stay. This is going to be a good card moving forward. Okay, I think this is the last card. This is a Cultist, Keeper of the Box, 2 mana from Shadow Owls. 2/2. Once you've equipped an ally this game, grant me life. Oh, and it's fearsome. This is the best card in the batch, in my opinion, because this makes Kayn viable. This is what Kayn needed to actually be playable. Oh, there are more? Okay. Well, anyway, I think this is the best card of the revealed cards yesterday. The reason this is good is basically because I believe that the best way to play Kayn right now is with Akshan and with the 1 mana landmark, the Tomb. That the 1 mana landmark that gives a +4/+4 equipment. If you can give that to your Akshan, it's insane. If you can give it to Keeper of the Box, it's insane. And the fact that Kayn can main deck a weapon that lets somebody with equipment strike makes this really, really good to actually last. It's the promotional art. Yeah. I think I saw this somewhere. I was pretty surprised to see this. It's Kayn. Hell yeah. Yeah, this is pretty cool. I think this card is insane. I'm very happy what it means for Kayn decks. So You're playing this with Shurima, or well, you're playing Kayn Shurima, and then you also play cards like Desert Jewel. Maybe you're playing cards like Grappling Hook even. It's just so good because Kayn synergizes with strike spells like insanely well. If you can strike with Kayn, not only does it level them up at first, second off, when you have Rost, every time you strike and kill something, you heal your Nexus by 2. You're gonna want to strike as often as possible, and sometimes you're gonna give your Keeper of the Box like an insane equipment. And then out of nowhere, you're just going to be lifestealing back to full because of this card. I think it's really, really good. This is the best card because I think this makes Kayn a playable card. No, that was it, right? I think that was all the cards. Yeah, we did all. We did get all of them. Do you think no deck would ever run blue Kayn? I think 9 out of 10 times you want to go with red Kayn because overall, if you're playing Kayn for 5 mana, he doesn't really do that much. Like, he gets to challenge something, he's going to take out 1 weak unit at most, and then you're going to be behind in tempo on turn 5. Most likely. And what that means is that you want to go red Kayn to stabilize. Red Kayn is really, really good at stabilizing, in my opinion. But if you're already ahead, and you just need like that extra bit of elusive power to close out a game, and you know your opponent can't play around it, then I think blue Kayn is really good too. It's gonna be competitive. I think Kayn becomes competitive because of Keeper of the Box. Weaponsmith Apprentice is kind of bad. I think it's good with Jax. Like, you play this on 1, you play Jax becomes a 4/3 quick attack, helps himself level faster, and then you play the Adept Weaponsmith on Jax. You have a 1/1, a 5/4 with quick attack, and a 3/3. That's pretty good. I think Favorite Artisan is also good because the time and dedication stays in your hand, so you can use it whenever. Combat Cook is also good because you improvise a weapon and you make it bigger. So whatever you give it to next is also gonna like get a little more stats. It's good. Yeah, 1, 2, 3. It's just good. It's mid-range at its finest, and I'm here for that. I think we could use some fair and honest mid-range instead of Kaisa combo keyword mid-range. No, that's nonsense. It's just OTK.
Kayn does lol.
Thank you for the bits. Kayn Soraka. Okay, that's pretty funny actually, because yeah, Ross does heal to full. Yeah, they advertise Kaisa as a keyword champion with a combo finish, a mid-range champion with a combo finish, and yeah, it was really, the finish was there. The mid-range, I didn't really see it. I don't know how true it is that Weaponsmith Apprentice gives you value or tempo early. It is still a 1-mana 1/1, but the next unit you summon is going to be bigger, and it's good for Jax because with Jax you need to play equipped units to level. And when Jax levels, you get a game-ending threat in your hand at all times. The Light of Acacia has the potential to just end games whenever. You can put on a unit, threaten that you're gonna kill them, and then they're like, oh no, I'm gonna kill your unit, or I'm gonna get a good trade against your unit, and you're like, okay, well, I'll give it to my next big threat, because Freljord is pretty good at generating threats. Cards like Gift of the Heartblood, everything is just gonna be quite large in stats, and that's just good.